Animation has been a wildly popular art form for many years now. It's progressed a long way ever since its humble beginnings in Edouard Muybridge's simple invention of the phenakistoscope, which allowed only for simple movements to be repeated on a loop. It's a craft that's given the opportunity for talented and inspiring artists to create moving works of wonder. It exists in a wide variety of mediums and methods, and it offers audiences works of art from all over the world to be appreciated. It's brought us iconic characters, extraordinary worlds, and has the ability to take our breath away with its beautiful illusions of movement.
Animation is an art that I've had a personal love for my whole life, and quite recently I've begun to explore and expand my own potential within the craft of animation and film in general. Most of the work I've done has been using older methods like hand-drawn animation and claymation, but quite recently I've begun to venture into the world of animation using digital technology. Even though I'm quite new to the likes of digital drawing pads and animation software, I've come to realize how much of an interesting time it is that we live in for the current world of animation. Amazing advancements in technology have meant that young aspiring animators have the opportunity to create works that previous generations could have only dreamt of. Many within the animation community praise the accessibility to the craft that's been brought about by recent technological advancements. However, there is still a lamenting for the traditions of older methods that some fear may die out as a result of technological progress. In this program, I'll be exploring how digital technology has given opportunities to young people interested in animation like never before. I'll be speaking to other young people working in the craft to see what they've been able to achieve with modern animation equipment and technology. From VFX to stop motion to 2D animation, digital technology has shaped and changed various forms of animation. What does this new generation think of the prospects of digital animation? Does it even matter to them if older methods are replaced? I want to speak to them to get their different perspectives on the current state of animation and perhaps even where they see it going in the future.
First, I went to speak with Matthew McGuigan, an enthusiastic young animator from Mahara who's created many animated works, mostly using the technique of stop motion.
My name is Matthew McGuigan. I'm 18 years old and I like to do stop motion animation in my free time. Preferably I do it with Lego and a bit of clay too, mainly because it's cheap to do and it's easy to learn.
What is it that interests you about this kind of animation?
Well, I was interested into it because of the amount of tutorials on YouTube and how easy it was to pick it up. And after learning how to do it, I realised it's a lot easier to express my own imagination through Lego and plasticine animation. There's a lot more software available on the computers and it allows me to just learn how to use my camera a lot more efficiently, and I can also use a lot more editing software that 10-15 years ago would have been hard to use. Digital technology means you can shoot a scene in a day, and as soon as you shoot a couple of seconds in a day you can check it on the laptop. Whereas even if we're talking the 90s, you would have to have used film. And what that would have consisted of is where you'd have to shoot on film at a certain given time, and after you're done your shot you would have to send it off, wait a few weeks for it to be processed and given back, and if it wasn't right you'd have to redo it again. But with digital technology, if it's not right, you can shoot it the next day or the day after without wasting so much time and money.
What are your thoughts on how many people within the animation community fear that technological progress could mean the replacement and extinction of older methods of animation?
With the advancements in people want to learn 3D animation as opposed to stop motion and traditional animation, it just means that in the next couple of years we're going to get a flog amount of 3D films coming out, 3D animations, and it sort of just gets rid of what animation used to be. I think with older methods is that there's a charm to them. It's just sort of something that's nice to look at as opposed to seeing 3D all the time. But I think in the future, although we'll only really get CGI 3D animations, whenever people will see 2D and stop motion, I think it's just a nice wee novelty to look at, and it does stick out too. So if everyone's doing it and I'm doing the opposite, it's easier to stick out. As I even reach in my mid-20s, I'll probably have animation skills far more advanced than what I would have had years earlier, mainly because of the advancements of digital technology.
After hearing Matthew's perspective on how modern technology impacts the work he does, I went to speak to Jake Bradley, a young tech-savvy animator from Derry. I wanted to hear his perspective as someone who has a more modern approach to the craft of animation.
Hi, my name is Jake Bradley. I'm on a media course and I do VFX in my spare time. The animation I normally do is 3D animation in programs like Adobe's After Effects or 3ds Max. I also use Adobe's Character Animator. I think it can benefit media in general and also add a lot to someone's production.
How does digital technology aid you in the kind of work that you do?
All of the work that I make is done on computers and digitally in general, and I think that this is the future of animation. I feel that nowadays the process is a lot easier, but some companies take this as an easy way out to create things that are not as creatively individual as others. But some companies like Pixar still create things with the soul that old animation used to have.
As a young person interested in animation, what does it mean for you that technological advancements have made this kind of work more easy and accessible for people like you?
I feel that anyone with an intent to create nowadays has the ability to do that and create something that can be very professional looking, and they also have a medium to show it off to the world.
What are your thoughts on how many people within the animation community are concerned that advancements in technology could mean the extinction and replacement of older methods of more traditional animation?
I feel that the fear of this comes unwarranted, because I think that sticking to the old ways sometimes can be the opposite of productive, because it can be slow, and the ways we create stuff nowadays with our technology can really change the game when it comes to making stuff like that. So I think it's just people being stuck in their old ways. Nowadays we have the ability to create amazing things with our technology, but as I said before, some studios use it to quickly turn out subpar animations that could be done with a lot more heart into them. But at the same time, I think that shouldn't be a deterrent to use the new methods.
Where do you see animation headed in the future now that young people like yourself have access to technology and software that gives them the ability to create near professional work?
I think we can only really go up from here. There's a lot of tutorials and programs out there that young people can access really easily, and this can give them a lot of practice and expertise before they go into the professional world and start working.
From my time speaking to both of these young animators, I was surprised to hear that some of them still see something to be valued in the older traditions of animation. Perhaps it would be possible for the new and the old to coexist and complement one another. Even if this isn't the case and the ways of old do become outdated, although a loss would be felt for what animators once had, there's no doubt that these amazing new tools and this new generation of young bright-eyed animators will be able to move the medium into new and interesting directions.